I've never seen it.
This is my podcast, Least Favorite Employees at Starburns. Thanks for being here, everybody. We're going to list off power rankings of my least... Are we going?
We're going.
Have we been going?
No.
Oh, we just started?
We're never going. We're always going.
Okay. Well, we do the intro before. I'll record that separately.
Listen,
and then
nobody expects you to start good. I think. I think.
What do you host most shows I do?
As a person who's listened enough, I know you don't start this well.
It's gonna be a bumpy.
So whenever you're
takeoff.
ready to dismount poorly,
why do I have a note card? Like it's, you know what I mean? The most ambitious thing I do is prepare. Or be like, and here's where I'll write down the time codes for the funny segments and remember these things and do that. And it never happens.
No.
It never happens at all.
I don't even say anything till 6 minutes in because I know nobody's listening yet.
Yeah.
We sneak all of our ads into the first 2 minutes.
That's the way to do it.
It's
That's the way to do it.
real top heavy with the.
I really want to know if anyone's using ZocDoc because of me. I probably shouldn't be talking about that right here.
I'm sorry. I used to use it.
I was,
ZocDoc
I
is
was
amazing.
a big Zoc.
We don't got to
guy.
talk about
All
that
right.
as good or bad, but if you learned about it because of me, that's crazy.
I think I still would go to ZocDoc if I needed.
Does
a
it
new
work in
person.
It's
LA?
overwhelming.
I only used it in New York. Yeah.
Does
I
this
used to
count
use
as the
it.
ad for ZocDoc
Yeah,
in
they're
this
gonna give
episode?
us some.
I'll
money.
tell you straight up, no money for me. I used it in New York, and my penis looks amazing.
I just learned that if you go to the doctor and you don't have insurance, you don't have to tell them your name or your social security number or anything, and they still have to help you, and then you
What?
can just leave.
What?
right. Okay.
This might not be in the ad.
I was about to say. Where did you learn this?
ZocDoc.com/never seen it.
Love it. Yes.
I still for all the ad copies. I used to be an MC at a comedy club before I did stand up in Columbia, Missouri, where I went to college. I was the
Vu.
host. It was called Deja Vu.
I've done it.
You've done
They had a
Deja
dance
Vu?
club.
It was a dance club
yeah.
downstairs that held 400 people.
Oh.
And first off, terrible name for a comedy club because
Yeah.
it is the chain of strip
I was
clubs.
about to say that's how I know it
Certainly.
is a chain of strip clubs
It's
in the Midwest.
That's how everyone knows it. There's one in L.A.
Oh, is
There's
there
a Deja Vu in L.A.
Good for Deja Vu.
I know.
They're branching.
We're gonna do a deja vu
They're
right here.
expanding.
But we would always I would do reservations during the day, like people calling to say they're going to come. And then truckers would always call because they would look up Deja Vu.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be like, who's on tonight? And I'd have to be like, Adam Newman.
You're like Adam Boobman.
It's three fellas.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I was the host, and they didn't let the host do time. It's like the worst place to feature that ever existed.
Wait, so what are you doing?
I would go up and I would say, thanks for coming out to Deja Vu Comedy Club. Best in comedy for over 30 years. Before we get going, I want to remind everyone to turn your cell phones off. You have office party cards on the table in front of you. You can win free tickets to a show.
Announcements,
An upcoming
that's
show
it.
here at Deja Vu Comedy Club. Thank you guys very much for being here. Are you guys ready to get your show started? Your feature tonight is Adam Newman.
Whoa.
And then the feature would have to come up to a middle of Missouri cold crowd. And the feature was generally like,
who might be horny and
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah, they're
at-
looking
at
for
what's
dances.
sure.
They're looking for
right,
lap
like it's
dances.
just 300 men there alone in overalls.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm up there going, ooh, deja vu.
It was like, and then be like, if you liked, the feature would always be like a better, like a comedian who's like really had jokes and was like a younger person from like around the area, and then the headliner was generally like the cheapest gimmick. So it'd be like, hey, if you liked Adam, who had nuance and personality, you're gonna love this guy whose closer is a Whitney Houston puppet.
Yeah, that's. I think Boston suffered from something similar, where all the headliners were like dudes who wore kilts, and
Yeah.
like that was the bit.
We had
It
an
was like,
Austin
I'm a
Powers
man, but I'm wearing a
impersonator
skirt.
there. One of the last weekends I worked. He was, and it said his credit was one of the premier Austin Powers impersonators in Missouri.
Not even
Whoa.
claiming to be the best.
There's so
Not
many
even
like
claiming to be the
qualifiers to
best.
that.
He refuses to say, do I make you horny? He refuses. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I love.
I want to
that.
do new stuff.
I love that level of humility where he's like, I haven't been outside of Missouri, so I don't know if I'm the best.
I don't
Yeah.
know if there's someone who's better somewhere.
That's true.
And I really love the idea that he knows who's in Missouri and that he's not as good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just
Pretty
like, look, you're here, and you're not going to be able to drive to a better Austin Powers impersonator anywhere else.
He's like,
Well, he knows if you're that good, you're going to get brought up. You're going to go to the big leagues. You're going to
He's-
bring you to
Yeah.
yeah,
Oklahoma City, Riverport, Maine. Like, you're not going to stay in Missouri.
he's like, come on, man, I'm good, but Miguel is.
That dude's got fat bastard jokes
I
for
got fucking
days.
gets it.
Miguel Myers. I love the idea that like he's pretty good, and someone's in his ear like, "Look, man, if you want to be better at this, you're gonna have to get to Lawrence, Kansas. That's where all the Austin Powers. This two powers town ain't it for you."
Yeah, that's where your mojo is. That's good. That's really good.
I love that.
Oh man,
He knows he's not as good because he won't commit to like the full costume and stuff. He's like, I'm not
Sure.
really like a tribute act. I'm more of a cover act. So
Yeah.
I just gotta
Oh, yeah.
do it, but I don't dress the part.
Missouri is
Yeah,
where
he won't do
Branson
the
is.
teeth.
Yeah, I'm not
You know what I
doing that.
mean? He's
Yeah.
not doing the fucking teeth.
I hope
like
that
my teeth are fine.
He's
It
out
does
there
the
now
job.
getting canceled for doing the teeth. We don't do the
Dentists
teeth
are
anymore.
not having it. They're
You never go full teeth.
You never
Yeah.
go full teeth. We also thought the blackface was a lot for Austin Powers.
but the teeth are what did it. The teeth are what did
You
it.
can't talk about fat bastard. You gotta stick with body positivity.
Bastard is like he just goes by bastard.
Yeah, it's bastard.
I've never seen Austin Powers, so I don't fully understand the reference.
Is
Wait,
that really,
really?
true? You've
That's
never
true.
seen Austin
What?
Powers?
I've seen like what I know from it. I don't want to derail the podcast by doing what it's about, but what I know from it is the shadow scene where there's like stuff coming out of a butt, which I've seen, which is funny.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
turning around of a steamroller in a very small space, and Dr. Evil. That
Those
would
are all
probably be
good
about.
bits.
I think
Yeah.
Seth Green is the Dr. Evil's kid, and is like
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Um,
It holds up.
It does
really,
hold up?
really well. Yeah.
You've watched it recently?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and Mini Me,
shit.
but isn't Mini Me Dr. Evil, or like a small Dr.
Yeah.
Evil?
He's
Yeah.
he's
You
a
know a good
clone
bit
of
about it.
Dr.
You could
Evil.
write a fake script
You
about it.
could.
It's tough
you
to
could.
tackle a comedy
Yeah,
on this
comedy
show and be
genre.
like, you know what, I can be
Yeah.
funnier than
Yeah,
this comedy
one of
that
the
it's
funniest
shocking
of
I haven't
all
seen.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, Ace Ventura, I would say, is still probably holds up a little bit better. But I would say, as
Whoa.
far as like a '90s like pure comedy, not like
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy Boy's like my favorite, but it's not. That's a character comedy. As far as just like a pure like we've got jokes and you're gonna
Yeah.
laugh. Ace Ventura and Austin Powers both really hold up.
I don't think I've seen Ace Ventura either.
We need to stop the podcast right now and find a TV with Ace Ventura.
Maybe
I think I'm
have.
genuinely afraid to revisit Ace Ventura.
It's so funny.
There's
I
a
haven't
part
seen
of me
it since
that's
kid.
like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking laugh.
Is that
'cause
part
it's-
of you your talking butt?
Well, the ridiculousness.
Ask you a few questions. That's funny.
That's so funny. And what's really funny is a guy who was a pet detective doing that. Like that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Like the jokes aren't funny that it's happening. It's more like this
Isn't
is
it
a
just
character
funny
that's
that there's
doing
a
it.
pet
concept
detective?
as a whole.
It's really
Is
funny.
Ace Ventura? Does it have anything to do with the Miami Dolphin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dan
it
Marino's
does.
in it. Dan Marino's
Dan
in the
Marino's
movie.
That's
wonderful
actually
in
like
it.
the
Yeah.
core of the
Core
story.
plot,
It's
Yes.
like hunting down. Someone stole the
Someone
dolphin.
stole-
Someone stole
Okay, I
the
think
dolphin.
see that would.
Right.
There's a trans aspect to it.
There is, and,
Yeah.
and they don't handle it well.
I was gonna say
Really?
that doesn't hold
They
up.
don't handle it well, but you know what else though? They
Hold
don't,
on, take the time code down for when Todd. I want the time code for when Todd is.
They don't
saying
handle
that
it
this is
well,
okay.
but also like that character is not. It's not like they're celebrating him being dumb about that. So it's like it's not
Yeah.
handled well. But
that
he's
is
an
a
idiot
big
about
thing
it.
that people like. People really
Yeah.
want to be like, and once again, I haven't seen Ace Ventura. I don't know the example, but people be like, that bad guy isn't being good.
Yeah.
And then they like get
No.
upset about that. And you're like, yeah, it's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
yeah, people get mad because they're like, well, you're making the minority the bad character. What you're finally representing what
Sure.
you're trying to represent, and then you make him bad.
It's a little tough because it is the moment where Ace Ventura is like at his most brilliant.
Yes,
And
and
then-
it
Really?
is a
and
shocking
he's
discovery.
Just being transphobic throughout all of it. It's like,
Wait a minute.
oh boy.
He is so repulsed.
I mean, I haven't
by
seen it, so I don't. But that's so.
he's like
lunges
a
himself.
he's like a dum dum kind of, but
Yeah.
also secretly smart.
Like a
throughout
savant.
The whole film, yeah. And
Yeah.
then
I mean, he's really smart about pet detective work.
Yes,
it's just
sure.
it's just a very small niche that unfortunately does
And
not.
I'm
count
having
everything
some
else.
memories of Ace Ventura 2 where they're in the jungle and there's tribes, and I have a feeling that probably doesn't hold up well.
It's
Oh,
not
no,
as
that's
it's
not-
not as
it's
Which
not
one's
doing
Ace
the
well.
Ventura
trans
2?
stuff, but yeah, it's
the
Jungle
one,
to Jungle.
It's the one where he
When nature
climbs
calls.
out of a
When nature
rhino's asshole.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was a
That's
fun
right.
scene.
That's a great.
Imagine he's like, so the first one finishes. He's like, remember that butt thing? And they're like, yes.
We
And
got
he's
I got more butt.
He's
jokes.
just like standing over the writer's
got
room.
more
Right back, baby.
Yeah.
And now rhino means something completely different.
Sure does.
Sure
boy.
does.
You're a rhino,
Am I?
aren't you?
Am I a Republican in
You're
name
wearing
only?
you got a collar on your shirt.
That's more of a boogaloo boy thing, right? Or more of a.
But none of the buttons are
There
buttons.
is another
all right.
collared shirt underneath it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But to be fair, that's a Lacoste with the collar popped.
So your dad's a Republican.
Yeah. I'm just tired. All right, maybe I'll watch which one if I can.
Ace Ventura.
How many Mike Myers? How many Austin Powers movies are there?
3. They're all very
Austin
good.
Powers, Austin Powers 2, and then Goldmember.
I don't.
Spy Who Shagged Me is 2, and Goldmember is 3.
I
No,
don't know
reverse.
that Goldmember is something I would call good, but again,
There's
you
parts
revisited
parts
them.
of it that are plot-wise it's not as good as 1 or 3, but there's jokes in it that you're like, damn, that
I really
is-
thought Beyonce was going to be in every movie. Was she bad at acting?
I think they thought so too.
they thought so too.
because that
yeah.
was like a huge selling
She
point to that
wasn't-
movie.
She wasn't bad at acting.
She
She
was
just
bad
had
at
her
acting.
music career take off like right afterwards. That was her first post Destiny's
Yeah,
Child
but so
thing.
does a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, but
I can't come up with any examples, but trust me.
She became like the biggest thing after that.
I
right?
think she figured out acting well enough after Goldmember to do some stuff, but a comedy for her first thing was
Yeah,
a
that's
bad
rough.
choice.
It's
That's
tough.
rough.
I don't think
I mean,
people.
Liz Hurley isn't doing great in the first one either. I mean, Heather Graham
Yeah.
had the chops to like really make it work, but I mean, I feel like the female lead and
It's so much harder
tough.
to be like funny in a comedy than it is to just be in a movie.
Well, especially when you're second banana to a guy who all he does is make jokes every 5 seconds.
And he's 2 movies into being this character.
and
and
he's
everything's in service to
he's
him.
every other character too.
yeah. That is a real masterclass on
I
being
forgot
like
about
window
that.
dressing as
So
a
he
character.
plays Dr. Evil. He plays. We don't have to talk about Austin Powers as much. He plays Austin Powers.
He plays
and then
Bastard.
He does?
Yep. Yeah.
The overweight child of
Irish.
the unwed.
Yeah,
Why does this sound like a Game of Thrones reference?
that does.
That overweight child of the
does.
unwed.
He plays Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe is in it?
Rob
Yeah.
Lowe's in
Rob
it.
Lowe's
yeah.
in
I
it.
thought he
Yeah.
kind of took all the 90s off.
Tommy Boy.
I haven't seen Tommy Boy either.
Oh,
What?
My God.
I missed a lot. We didn't really watch movies when I was growing up, and that's when I would have seen like 90s comedies and stuff.
Tommy Boy is
So once
Tommy
I
Boy
got
holds up.
absolutely one of
Tommy
the best
Boy's
movies ever
good.
made.
Have you
It's
seen
a
Dumb and
perfect
Dumber?
movie.
no.
Kyle.
I think Dumb and Dumber they're in a car that looks like a dog.
Yeah.
At one
Yeah,
point.
you got that.
Dumb and
So I've
Dumber
seen
holds
it.
up. Dumb and Dumber is so funny.
Does Dumb
think-
and Dumber hold up?
Yes.
Yeah, I've watched
It's
that recently. It
ridiculous.
holds
It's
up great.
so funny.
Wow.
This is like the
incredible.
BuzzFeed list of movies that doesn't hold up. That you guys are like these.
Jim
are.
Carrey, actually, he had a lot of movies.
Tremendous.
I haven't seen The Cable Guy in a long time, but I remember
I
liking
haven't
that one a
either,
lot
yeah.
too. I think
No, he had a hell of a run. He had a hell of a run.
Only Jim Carrey movie I've seen is the number 23,
I liked it. I
Oh,
weirdly
no.
liked it.
and I thought it was pretty good.
I
liked it. When you hit a walk off, you hit
Fellas,
a walk off.
Yeah.
fellas, don't
Good
do
to
it.
go. Good to go.
Does that hold up? Does the science in the number 23 hold
Very
up?
possible.
The number 23 holds up because it feels closest to his personality now.
Yeah.
He
That's
was
true.
being very honest in that film.
There's no one who he just seems so happy now.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to learn too much of what he thinks about anything.
I
But he
learned
just
everything
seems like
I need
he
through
like
his
paints.
paintings.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him and George Bush just out here painting and hopefully not getting asked questions about vaccines.
Yeah, or what they did, or the Iraq War. Yeah.
Okay. 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
How far in are we? Do we have a timer? 12 perfect.
minutes.
12
Angry
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
I love this.
I have seen 12 Angry Men.
I've never
What a
seen it.
crime
What
I
else
know
did
it's
you
a
had?
12 Angry
You
Men
had
and
like a
not Tommy
list
Boy.
this time, right?
Yeah, I sent
can't
you
remember
a
what else
bunch
was
of
on the list.
stuff.
And then we plucked 12 Angry Men.
I
from
think There
here.
Will Be Blood was
There
the
Will
other
Be
one that
Blood,
you were
Gone
like-
with the Wind, Vertigo, Kids, The Warriors, and Aquila and the Bee.
Yeah, I never seen that.
I've never seen that either.
What if I was like, we've done Aquila and the Bee too many times?
You know what?
Can't
And
do
I
it
love
4
Kiki.
weeks in a row.
Kiki, I'm a big fan, so I was, you know.
I think I might have
felt
seen
bad
all of
to
those
have
movies,
said that
actually.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen The Warriors, but I think I've seen the rest of the movies on your list there.
Warriors good.
12 Angry Men
That's
is
what
like
people tell me.
It's not worth. You're not missing much there.
Yeah.
really.
You know, I have a tough time with old timey gangs.
Ah, yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't scare me.
Right. The
guys
scariest
in
guy just had a
sleeveless
bigger
jackets.
bike.
Yeah.
Well, I could just go over a fence, and you are never a problem to me again.
It's I tried watching West Side Story, and I felt the same way, where it's like
the original.
no, I tried watching the Steven Spielberg
Steven
one,
Spielberg one.
this recent one, and it truly was. It felt cartoonish to
Yeah.
look at the sharks and be like, oh, a shark is a shark for life. Fuck you, I'll beat you. You know, what I mean? Beat the shit out of a shark.
Not to be that guy, but the Jets are Jets for life. The Sharks, they don't really
Oh,
say. Sharks
excuse
could
me.
be come and go. It's a lot less, more loosey-goosey.
Sharks
You're feeling
actually
today,
sleep
you
while
are.
they're moving.
Yeah, you can kind of.
My
let you in, they'll let you
apologies
out.
to the Jets.
It's like
and the
watching.
Sharks.
I really like American Graffiti, and you rewatch like American Graffiti, and you're like, Harrison Ford's the coolest guy because his car doesn't have a hood, and the gang all has the same coat, and they shake you. And you're like, what? Okay.
Get over here,
And
punk.
once people realized they could move, a lot of these old timey gang movies didn't hold up. They're gone because everyone's like, well, I'll just leave my hometown.
Right, I don't have to be here.
How are
anymore.
you drinking that?
I've got this is a watermelon limeade yerba
But you
mate
drank it
that
by
I made.
holding the bottom.
I thought I was gonna spill it because we had that spill earlier, and I don't know why. And I made it more difficult when I did.
You
that.
made this yourself?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
nice.
Yeah, I like to.
Todd
make
has all
little
these jars
concoctions.
because one time
Yes, you know this
he
story.
found there was like an Amazon miss
Oh my God.
label, and he ordered like 100 pink lemonades for like $1.
It
They were
was,
like listed
it was
for like
more
1
than 100.
cent.
It was like 248. I think was as high as it
Like
would
as
go.
many as he
For
could
$1?
possibly order.
No, they were not even $1. They were 9 cents instead of 90. So they're usually $1.99, and then they were supposed to be $1 off to 99 cents. Now they'd be like $5.99. And they were 9 cents. I was like, this is insane. This
So
is
he
like
ordered
my
as
favorite
many as they
lemonade.
could and had like crates of that size.
Every single cabinet and drawer in my kitchen was full of Honest Lemonade.
Did your
It was
fridge just
absolutely-
look like a Snoop Dogg video
It
where it's
certainly
like
did. I was
40s
ready
when you
for an
open the
episode
fridge?
of
I would
Cribs.
love like the
Yeah.
episode of Cribs like, yeah, and here's my fridge and it's all Honest lemonade.
It was really, it was a real coup.
You know
I
that
did not think
lemonade
it was gonna
everybody's craving. Honest lemonade.
You know that lemonade no one can find because
work.
of me?
I took all of them.
But now he just always has a different one of these as a reusable jar.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It
At
That's
was-
least
huge.
they were honest about sending you the.
There you
I
go.
was.
You
I
did
thought
it.
there's no way it's gonna work. You know what the worst part about it is, though, is once something like that happens.
Diabetes?
Well, that too. But every day since then,
Second
I
worst thing.
still check Amazon for like 10 minutes to look for like, today they made a mistake on some product, and we just
Sure.
didn't find it.
Whoa.
I've
know?
bought guitar equipment before because I'm like, that thing's $250. It's on here for like $89. I don't know why, and then
Yeah.
I'll order it, and then I'll see the next time it went back up. Somebody
yeah.
knows they made a
We
mistake.
got to catch
Yeah.
those errors.
So is
Yeah.
that just a glitch, or are they just like, fuck it, we're treating you boys?
I think
to
the thing,
something nice.
the thing about Amazon is it doesn't matter. It's never worth their time to fix any
Oh,
of
yeah,
their
never.
problems,
Sure.
so they don't
Sure,
care
sure,
at all.
sure.
Yeah, no.
There was a shed one time that was posted for like $24 instead of $2,400, and I bought it, and they were like, "We're not sending you the shed." But I was like, "What was I gonna do if it showed up
yeah,
to
yeah.
Queens? Like I'm living in Ridgewood, and what am I gonna do if
It's
a
live in
shed
bigger than my
arrives?
apartment.
Live in it.
That's true. It would have been a one
Yeah.
bedroom.
Rent it out.
They will, yeah.
Airbnb.
Wow.
All right. So these 12 angry men.
Yeah.
What is there anything you want to preface of having known? So let's.
I watched the trailer,
Mhm.
and I don't know if that qualifies as cheating at all.
In the
but,
past, you've done Scarface,
I've done Scarface.
Field of
yeah.
Dreams,
I think that's it. I don't-
no, Rebel Without a Cause.
oh, right, I did.
That
do
was like
Rebel
a
Without
Zoom one,
Cause.
right?
Yeah.
Like early pandemic one.
Dude,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I was
So it's like-
there for both Field of Dreams and Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
And,
possibly.
so
That's kind of wild.
it's like this time. I don't know. This is older than those movies, I guess. But I don't know what
Yeah.
there's sort of like a alpha male relationship
That's
theme
happening in
between
this
all
movie?
of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think.
I guess that was every movie till 1995 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like there's a lot of like male actors in
I
the
think-
movies you're doing.
I think all the way up to Richie Rich, it was pretty much that same vibe.
Yeah.
The first movie with an honest take on emotions.
Was Tone Loc in that one?
And
No.
Richie
Was
Rich.
it
In 12 Angry Men.
Yeah. I feel like Tone Loc was in the Macaulay Culkin
Yeah, he
film.
was.
I
What
don't
is
know
it?
if it was Richie Rich though.
That's not Macaulay Culkin though, is it?
Richie
Yeah,
Rich?
Richie Rich,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
is Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Culkin.
That's where the Wayne
Blank
Crest
Check.
did.
Maybe he's in Blank Check.
That sounds more correct. And
I
that was
don't
not Macaulay
remember
Culkin.
Tone Loc in Blank Check. I feel
He
like
was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
You're
Oh,
damn right he was.
boy.
You're damn right he
Which I've
was.
never
I
seen
just
before.
remember him being in some of those like 90s.
Yeah.
He was Juice in Blank Check.
All
Oh,
right.
Juice,
Which
that's
Juice?
right.
He's
Yes,
Juice.
Juice.
Because they make
Oh.
the same joke like 500 times. So
Yes.
he's like, "I'm Juice," and they're like, "Oh no, thanks." Like he would show up and offer them juice.
Wait, you just got a couple comedians laughing at it.
That's
It's
true.
pretty funny.
I love
actually.
that joke. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Blank
Yeah.
Check doesn't hold up
No.
because he basically starts a relationship with an adult woman. Like the
Yeah.
whole crux is
right, I
he's
forgot about
into
that.
the woman, and then she finds out he's rich, and she's like, maybe this kid is hot, and like goes out with him.
The weird thing is, as a kid, you don't have the fantasy of like you had like Kelly Kapowski on your wall, but it wasn't like a fantasy of like I want an older woman. It's still
No, when I was growing up, I was like, I want the youngest bank teller
yeah, it
to
looks
give
kind
me
of like Demi
way too
Moore.
much out of bank attention.
Yeah.
She's like at his house, which I don't think bank tellers can do, and
What was his name? Mr. McIntosh.
Mr.
What
McIntosh
a
because
great
his
fake
computer.
Name. What a fantastic fake
That's
name.
pretty solid.
He just looks at the computer.
Wow, that's like how Mrs. Doubtfire got her name.
Yeah.
Looking at the paper.
He's not sure something's on fire. Oh,
A real Kaiser Sose moment of just
that I have seen. I just watched that for the first
Mrs.
time.
Doubtfire,
Really?
you just saw for the first
People
time?
said that wouldn't hold up.
Mrs.
Oh,
Doubtfire.
that's
or
gotta
Mrs.
hold up.
Mrs.
Actually,
Doubtfire's got to be pretty.
It
good.
was so funny. I was
The
talking
marital drama
to
in that
Mara
is a
Wilson
lot
about
heavier.
it.
That's awesome.
Because she was coming on the podcast, and she plays Robin Williams in the movie.
In drag.
I was talking to Mara Wilson about it, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know, some parts don't." And I'm like, "Look, there's no part of anyone needs to apologize for this, for whatever he's cross-dressing and
Pierce
all this sort of
Brosnan
stuff."
needs to apologize.
He throws fruit.
But,
That-
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
When
Holy.
it's funny, and Robin
Pierce
Williams,
Brosnan,
it's just a Robin Williams vehicle where he's just funny
Yes.
and hilarious
Yeah.
for a while,
Yeah.
and I
I
enjoyed
feel
it.
like any person who is in a married relationship, if your spouse, if you came home to a fucking horse in your house, you would absolutely divorce your spouse. That's insane.
Divorce.
Is that what
Insane.
prompted the divorce?
I
He
mean,
had a
that's
horse
where
in
it
the
really
house?
is like this one's over.
It was a final straw.
Yeah,
Was
it
the
was
petting zoo?
Yeah, the petting zoo.
Wow,
at the house.
Inside the house.
Was his thing that he was like an alcoholic? I don't. What was he,
He was
doing?
just
No,
that
he was
total
throwing a birthday
moron.
party.
he
for his
was
idiot.
just so too childish.
He
with
was a
his
silly
kids.
He
kid.
did not grow
at
up.
all
The,
times.
the thing was that his kids liked him,
Yep.
so she divorced him for it. You guys
he
need to
was-
go on the incel Reddit board.
This guy's too goddamn fun. Get him
Yeah,
out of
get
my
him
house.
outta here. Get him out of here. He's working late hours. He's at the petting zoo in the
Right.
house.
House
in
of
the
Pain
living room.
blasting.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah,
I
they
think
just seem
the
to have a
horse-
nice time.
Yeah, I think the horse might have peed on the. It was a mess.
It wasn't
Do you know
that
how
nice.
dangerous
stuff.
that is? A horse around a bunch of kids inside a living room? That's
I do.
insane.
Yeah.
John
That's
Mulaney has
totally
a bit
insane.
about it.
Does he really?
No.
Oh, I bet
should.
he has a lot of bits where it's like, do you remember this thing? Here's all the beats of it. Wasn't it crazy?
No, he has a bit. He
Back
has
to the
that bit
Future.
where he says that Trump is the horse in the hospital.
That's right.
Ah,
That's
yes.
his-
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good
yeah.
horse
Let's play that whole bit all the way through.
Papa
here.
was stretching.
Speaking of hospitals, if you need to go to ZocDoc, we'll be right back.
ZocDoc.com.
If you're a horse,
Take this timer. We'll do the ZocDoc ad here.
I was gonna make a hospital joke. We can cut it.
All right.
Well, now we're not doing that ad. Okay, 12 Angry Men.
Hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's do it. You've never seen
Okay.
12 Angry Men?
Never seen it.
Has it ever come across as an option for? Is it,
Not
Never
even
wanna
once.
watch it.
Has
Never wanna
anybody
watch it.
ever been like, you know what, we should watch?
it is crazy with these. If you're not in film school,
Yeah, there's no.
when would you ever watch this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've had some films where like where I did do that, where it was like, oh, everybody says this is the greatest film
Yeah.
of all time, so I'll watch it, and I've never felt that way afterwards. So it's like I'm not gonna do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
What's like let you down?
like Chinatown, it's fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and they tell you it's the perfect piece of art, and
Sure.
it's like, it's cool.
This thing
y'all.
happens
Yeah.
where everyone gets better at making them
Mhm.
throughout time.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine if someone was like, you have to watch the 100-meter dash from the 1972 Olympics.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then you watch it and you're like, they're all slower.
No,
Yeah.
it's
And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
like you watch like Secretariat win by like a mile and you're like, yeah, but all the horses are faster now.
Yeah.
Those horses were sick.
And this
That's-
is shot all grainy. Did
Yeah.
Zapruder shoot the Secretariat footage?
Yeah, there's no way it's gonna. You know what I mean? It's Bob Cousy basketball. You're
Yeah,
just never
exactly. Like old
gonna-
basketball clips where you're like, everyone now probably would have dunked on Bob Cousy.
Every.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
get that back then they're
Yeah.
like, he used his left hand. And they're like
Oh.
shitting their pants.
Remember when he spun in a circle?
No one
It's
could
the
do
worst
anything
clip.
about
It just looks like my dad in my driveway.
He's like, it looks like he's like dribbling a doll's head is with the ball. So 12 Angry Men, I will, it's, we'll talk about it afterwards. So
Yeah.
but I agree. Chinatown is one of those, like, you see everything. You've watched all the things it's influenced.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you go, oh, I see where they took that and they made it better for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
and I know why you cared about it, Grandpa. But I
Sure.
can't. I can't care.
I do that with Hitchcock, where they're like, "It's a master of suspense," and you
Oh.
watch it, and you're like, "Yeah, I totally get that hadn't been done, but I wasn't scared."
You
at
ever
all
watch
during
like a
it."
Hitchcock
Exactly.
movie and you're like, man, he really did give The Simpsons a plot.
Yeah,
But they're better at it. They were better. The Simpsons Rear Window episode was more engaging.
That's why I comment Simpsons did it under every clip of Hitchcock on YouTube.
That's a great comment. That's a great comment.
All right.
The only I think we can assign the parts. The only part that I'll personally take is the surprise at the end.
Okay.
I won't give that name away, but
Very exciting.
but it's you'll see it and you'll know who the surprise
it's the
character
surprise.
is.
Okay.
But everybody else, it's a free for all, fellas.
Ooh.
There's the lead juror. I don't know who wants that. Adam, you want to do the lead
just
juror?
just assign them to me. I'll take lead juror. I've never seen the movie either. Just full disclosure.
Fuck yeah.
Todd, I'm
No
assuming
idea
you've
what it's
seen
even
this movie.
about.
I have seen this movie.
Well, then, Todd, you're a Ralph man if I've ever seen one.
I always am. I always am.
Kyle, you can be Carter. Why not? And then,
I wish I was like cut out for the fake role like Todd is.
well, that's perfect. Todd,
Kyle, I don't give a fuck.
Adam, you're Otto.
All right.
And Kyle, you're the perfect Ed Begley Sr.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
And then Todd, why don't you take Wilfred?
I sure will.
And then
I'm like, I wonder how many guys are in this.
Kyle be Albert, if
Albert.
you will.
Great.
And then I think that's all my guys.
Before I forget, because I want to tell people, Inside Amy Schumer has an incredible satirical episode about this movie. That's so funny. I'm telling this if you're listening.
I
do you
pray
want,
to
a pen?
God it's not funnier than mine.
Oh, no. But if you're listening, go away. It's funny.
It won't be.
All right.
All right, and I'll do this.
What are you circling who you are?
Yeah, I was just
All right.
Great. Okay, are we good?
Let's do it.
Everybody feel good about their various assignments? And if you
Hell
fuck it up,
yeah.
I'll never forgive you, but it's okay.
Oh shit. Lead juror and Otto. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I messed up over here.
Bring your own fucking pen.
I didn't know I was gonna be reading a pen, dude.
Here we go. Okay, 12 Angry Men, written by Langston Kerman, based on the 1957 film by the same name starring Ed Begley Sr. Did you guys know Ed Begley Jr.? He's hilarious. It's never even occurred to me that he had a dad. Some people just seem like they've been old too long to have parents. Well, guess what? Ed's dad is in this movie, and he's angry. Interior, jury room, evening. 12 white men hover around a long boardroom table. Each man is somehow whiter than the last. They all look like they could be named Herbert or Harvey, even though none of them are. Maybe they are. Who knows? There are 12 of these fuckers. It's way too many to actually establish. The point is, these are proud, strong-jawed white men. The type of white guys who wear hard-bottomed shoes to exercise and braided belts to work because you never know when your morning steak is gonna change your pant size. Oh, America, what happened to us? The table is swarmed with loose papers, half-finished food containers from somewhere called Jigaboos.
Oh, no.
And the center is a very pointy knife stabbed into the wood. This is back when tables were tables. Fine oaks and chestnuts and shit. None of that corkboard garbage they sell at IKEA. Goddamn Swiss. The men look tired and worn. Their button-up shirts have come undone. One man, Otto, squeezes his fedora tightly in his sweaty hand. It's basically hat mush. His calloused palm bending the otherwise gorgeous felt. It's a really nice hat. He's usually a hat guy, but today he's a jury guy, and the jury is still out on this one. They pass forward tiny scraps of folded paper with their decisions written on the inside. The room is quiet like they like their women. But as they wait for the lead juror, 50 suspenders, to collect their decisions, you can tell this is a quiet they don't like. The lead juror reads through each paper without a word until suddenly he gets to the 12th one.
You son of a bitch.
Suddenly, the men begin shouting and raging at one another. They scream out unintroduced because who has time?
He murdered those people and you know it.
I'll murder you, you yellow-bellied sea snake.
Carter and Ralph lunge at each other as the other men jump in between.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
They're screaming and shouting and wooden pipes flying everywhere when suddenly Ed Begley Sr., 50s, Ed Begley's daddy, yells above the rest.
Enough!
The room quivers to a quiet halt. They know Ed Begley Sr. means business. His braided belt is still on.
Let's just go over the details one more time. And for God's sake, a man's life is on the line, so everyone needs to listen real carefully.
The men gather themselves as they find their seats.
Okay. Yes, they found blood in the foyer and the driveway and near the boot prints.
But most of that evidence was compromised.
And there's no definitive proof that the blood even belonged to him.
He had fresh cuts all over his hands the next day.
Of course he has cuts in his hands. The man works for Hertz. He's probably opening and shutting trunks all day.
Yes.
Not to mention the glove.
Yes.
Not to mention the glove didn't fit.
He opened his hand and you know it. I'll open your hand up, you filthy mouth fod doodle.
The two men lunge at each other. The skirmish begins again. They're yelling and shoving, and one man drops his travel bottle of cod liver oil.
Hey! Oh, I actually hit the friggin' almost spilled water. Hey! Enough is enough.
The men once again calm to a stop.
We can't just send an innocent man to jail. I mean, we can. He's black. That's sort of our thing.
He's not black. He's OJ.
He stabbed the poor fellow while he was doing karate.
Look, all I'm saying is, even if you believe the prosecution with all their irrefutable evidence and straightforward testimonies, all you really did was kill a lady and Jew.
The men all nod along. He's making a good point.
I mean, come on, fellas. If a karate Jew was banging your broad, wouldn't you saw her head off?
It's hard to argue with that.
Look, I'm not saying the fucking guy didn't kill her. But I am saying if we put him in jail, we're setting a precedent in this country that none of us can afford to follow. I mean, the man was in Ironside, for God's sake.
For the first time, it's starting to feel like they've all reached a calm understanding. Then,
You know, fellas, I'm actually starting to think his son might have did it.
I'll have my son do you rat-tongued hornswoggler.
the room once again erupts into chaos. They're screaming and mushing, and two of the guys start to kiss a little bit. Big, hard kisses. They're not gay. They just don't know what else to do with all this rage. In the chaos, Ralph reaches for the knife at the center of the table and then shoves it into Otto's belly. Otto lets out a slow, frightening squeal as the men all watch blood pour from his 1950s gut. The old timey lady quiet has once again taken over the room. None of the men are sure what to do, but in some ways they all feel responsible. They were just so angry. If only they were calmer and maybe there were less of them. Perhaps the lesson could have been learned. A life could have been saved. Damn, this got heavy. Then the door to the jury room opens, revealing Orenthal James Simpson, the juice himself.
Yours truly.
He pokes his head in pleasantly. Oh, hey, fellas. Just wanted to check and see if you decided whether I killed that. OJ stops mid-sentence, seeing Otto's now lifeless body knifed on the floor. He looks around terrified at the room of white men. He's at a total loss. Well, I definitely didn't do that. Suddenly the room erupts with laughter. That's just good solid comedy. No denying it. This guy's awesome. No way they could send him to black people's jail. Not guilty. End.
Stamp of approval. That is fantastic.
Woo.
Black People's Jail.
Hell yeah.
The name of my new podcast,
Black people's
where
jail.
Kim Kardashian and I hassle the president.
That's just such a nice freeze frame
Oh,
ending.
wow.
A laugh track.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
You,
That's
you
really
gotta
nice.
you gotta end it somehow,
Hell
and
yeah.
that's all I had.
And I pictured young, Naked Gun OJ.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. This is
It's
OJ
him
and
now
his-
on his unverified Twitter. The most fascinating place in the world.
Incredible.
I think that, did everyone see OJ's take on the Roe v. Wade situation?
No.
Oh, I didn't see
known
what a-
women's rights
What a
advocate,
fun
O.J.
video
Simpson.
that
Yeah.
was. OJ on Twitter releasing a video where he's like, I think our woman should really be in charge of her body.
Yep.
And he's just like this
Whoa.
long dodge, and everyone's just like, I mean, at this point he knows what he's doing.
He has
Sure.
to.
Like this isn't, he is Florida, like personified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty self-aware in a way that both makes the bits funnier, but also more grotesque.
Yes.
At the exact
Yes.
same time.
Yeah, it's
where you're
like-
just like, he's almost like a Tim and Eric situation.
Yes.
Where you
Yeah.
just, it's indescribable.
It's absurd.
Yeah,
Total
you
absurdity.
literally might be the worst human being on the planet, but also, god damn, this is comedy.
But like, if I was writing the worst human being on the planet, this is the funny thing I would have him do.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's kind of what happens in 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Like I said, all I saw was a trailer, and it was back when they made trailers with just opinions about
Yes,
the film.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah.
trailers.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like
Yes.
the writers, they're like, this is a perfect movie. You'll love it. It's scary but good, and
Yeah.
it's like just wiping across the thing. So all I saw was them yelling at each other, and there was a knife stab.
Yeah.
In the
There's
table.
Sorry, it's clearly a jury movie, right?
is a jury,
But like,
yeah.
so what was it?
It is
I don't know
kind
what
of
it
just
was.
like a jury just is pretty much ready to convict a black guy because some of them want to go to like a basketball game later that they have
Yeah.
tickets to, and then slowly they just one guy isn't convinced.
Yeah, it's
so
like a
they had
hung
tickets
jury
for a
'cause
white
who is the
basketball
actor?
game.
Do you
Of
who's it?
course.
Henry Fonda.
Henry Fonda
Right?
is, I
Yeah,
think,
Jane
so it's like a
Fonda's
very
dad,
famous.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that parents and their kids would both be in the entertainment industry.
I mean, can you even imagine how hard that would be to get into the industry if your parent was in it? It's insane.
And it is sort of like what he's like, something doesn't add up, and everyone's like, what do you mean it doesn't add
Yeah,
up?
we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
He probably did it. Look at him, and then slowly he sort of like then
Convinces.
convinces one guy and
Yeah.
convinces two guys and
One
and
by
then,
one.
one by one, except the one guy who just is a bigot. Like they're all bigots, but
Yeah.
like the one guy who's like happily like wants to convict him
Couldn't be
because
more
he's a
excited
bigot
about that,
is
yeah.
just like at the end is like, I guess he probably didn't. do
Yeah,
it."
there's a scene in the trailer where he says something of like, "You're stealing our justice from us," and then the guy stops and Jane Fonda's dad is like, "Our justice."
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're a bad person. You know what I mean? It becomes
yeah,
very
oh
revealing
yeah,
in that
record
way.
scratch.
Thank
Yeah,
God all that
exactly.
stuff got fixed.
I know, right? I know, man. God, that would have been rough to have to not get those social issues taken
You know,
care
those
of.
kids in Charlottesville just watched the first 80% of this movie
That's where
and
they-
then turned it
They're
off.
like, that guy's not so bad.
it is our justice.
It is our justice.
I like how he wears his tie.
they took our jobs.
But it's sort of a very like play type of movie where it's kind of just in one setting. I think
Yeah.
the only time they're not in the jury room is like the opening and the final shot,
Yeah.
maybe. And
Yeah, I think I
Um,
read that it started as a play and then
That would make
it-
sense.
yeah,
it
the old
Yeah,
Sorkin
makes
made-
move of.
It's like a bottle episode.
like a
yeah, there you go. There you go.
yeah,
we
it
gotta
really
make a
ripped
real-
off Community.
Gotta do a real cheap.
It's
movie,
pretty good.
guys.
I don't. It's good. It's slow. It's got some tense. The knife is like Henry Fonda and the bigot guy are like reenacting how a stabbing would work, and the
Yeah.
bigot guy's like, so he would have had the knife like this, and he like holds it up to his neck, and it's good and tense,
And everybody jumps up because
everyone's
they're
like,
scared he might
he's not,
actually-
like he's gonna murder Henry Fonda in the
In
jury
the
room.
jury room.
I bet you're
In
not
the
allowed to have a
jury-
knife in the jury
You're
room.
definitely not
No.
allowed to have a knife in the jury room.
I don't think, especially the knife that this person used to murder,
To murder
the-
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
Yeah.
Knife in the Jury Room, my favorite B-side Eddie Murphy song.
Have you guys done jury duty?
I have, but I've never got actually picked to go
I
in
got
and do
picked. The one I've only gotten to do it once. I would love to do jury. It was so fun. to,
Oh,
like,
you had a
get-
good
Dude.
time.
Yeah, I got picked. But I mean, so the highlight of it for me, I mean, and this is
Was putting him away.
no. So it was a
Seeing
it
that
was
son of
a
a bitch get put in cuffs.
it's a
Dragged out in front of his
domestic
family.
assault case where this guy threw his TV set at his girlfriend, living girlfriend, and then
Nice
she called the
TV?
cops. I mean, it had to have been small if he picked up and threw it. This guy was not huge.
Flat screens aren't that heavy.
But
No,
the
it
one
was a Magnavox.
This was in high school.
Built-in
This was in-
VCR.
This was in high school, so this was like I just turned 18. I want to say this is like maybe 2002.
So it could have been a deep
it could have been a tube television set.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyways, the highlight of the whole thing was after like the prosecution like gave their case, the defense attorney got up and his opening statement was he came to us and he goes, "Look, we're not here to talk about what my client has done. We're here to talk about what my client can do. We don't need to worry about the past. This man's future." I was just like,
Whoa.
that's the opposite of why we are here
That's
specifically
not
to
why
talk
we're
about
here.
what this
Yeah.
man has done. Like,
Can you raise
that's
your
what
hand
you're
as a
opening
juror?
with. It was just like, seriously, we all just like looked at each other like, he did not get he
Yeah.
should have picked the other defense attorney he
Yeah.
interviewed
Yeah.
with. Like, this guy is not good.
That sucks.
When I got arrested for smoking weed on the street in New York one time,
Good.
and I had to go to jail overnight. They literally take you to jail overnight. And on the way there, they were like, we got to pick up a certain amount of weed guys every month. Like, they're just telling us we're like a quota.
Oh no.
And then we get there and they put you in like the holding cell, and it's me, it's my friend I went in there with, and then it's this one guy who had been arrested for getting in a fight at a Dwayne Reed, and the guy who'd been arrested getting like. I never thought all of the stereotypes about jail and the court and all this was like
Oh,
because
yeah.
you see it. I never, but I'm in this cell, and he is telling us his plan to get off. He tried to steal from a Dwayne Reed and then kept trying to beat up the security guard.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say, why didn't the other guy get in? But it's
so,
security.
So he tried to beat up the security guard, and then he's telling us his plan to get off. He's like, when I get out of here before my court date, I'm gonna get a neck brace, and I'm gonna go to court
yes.
with the neck brace on, so because they'll think they hurt me.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's from all of the movies.
Yeah,
he's
this-
in." And he's like,
This
yeah,
is
but
an earnest movie.
this is like,
dude.
he's like, and he's like, so I'll go in there and, they can't put like an injured guy in jail. And I'm like, I don't think you're describing it. And then he left before us. I don't know whatever happened to him, but
he got off.
we go to court and they're just like, look at him. They're not going to smoke weed again. We can't have this on their record. It's like
Yeah.
very much. And they're like, if you don't get in trouble for a year, we'll expunge it, which they didn't do.
What was the rapist swimmer guy who they
Brock Turner.
What
Brock
the hell
Turner.
was that? Why we should be more mad about that still.
Yeah, that guy did
He
that
raped
move.
a girl, got caught raping
his
a
lawyer did
girl.
your thing.
Yeah,
No,
they're just
his
like,
lawyer said, put a neck brace on. Big
yeah,
man.
we're good to go.
We're going to say those ladies hurt you.
We can't put him in jail for this. He's a good kid.
He
Like,
got
what?
hurt. He got whiplash from all the backlash from this, and that's why his neck hurts.
Yeah, that was insane.
Dude, I was watching a
It's always fun to talk about Brock Turner.
yeah, you
on
got to
the
get a Brock
podcast.
Turner bit in there.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I don't have a Brock Turner
Brock
bit. I can move it. I just watched this documentary the other day though about the Martin
Turner?
Shkreli
Yeah.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And
Hell
for his
yeah.
jury, so he bought the Wu-Tang album.
He sure
Yeah.
did.
And
The
so
one
there was
copy.
one juror that got they asked him questions and he was disqualified because he said he couldn't be partial because Martin Shkreli fucked with Wu-Tang.
Oh,
That's fun.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't
that's
none to
fun.
fuck
Yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
man.
That's
and he
fun.
fucked with them like
Yeah.
huge.
You know what's kind of funny?
He also
I
gave him
should
money.
not put this on blast, but okay, so this was not the RZA's fault, but I did a music video during mid-pandemic.
Hold on. Can we talk about how good of an opening sentence? This was not the RZA's
Yeah.
fault, but
Yeah, but I
Now
got
the jizza, this is on him.
I got fucked over by a producer on this music video where I didn't get my fee for I honestly got it. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Finally, this producer kept trying to fuck me over, and the whole time I was pissed off because I want my money, but also I was like, you know what, man. Wu-Tang Clan, I had many, many years of listening to songs to warn me about what would happen if I fucking went up against Wu-Tang Clan, and they were not anything to fuck with. And it was 9
they
months
meant in
of,
a literal lawyer financial
literally,
sense.
you are not. If you are trying to sue us to get your money, it ain't gonna work.
It's a good music video. When's it come out?
It came out 6 months ago, and I hate it because I didn't get paid on it.
Oh.
No, it's great. It's dope. It's dope. It's awesome. Yeah, RZA.
But we shouldn't watch it.
No, you should. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, new RZA video, man. New album.
Hey, you want to check out this new RZA video? It's
Saturday
online.
morning kung fu
You know
cartoon.
what's another good website? ZocDoc.com.
You want to go to ZocDoc and
I
get
think
a
they're
RZA
if they're not one of the ads for this week, they're gonna get a lot of free
lot of
press.
traffic.
But I think they are.
I'm more of a forward guy.
All right, here's second ad break. I even said it. All right. What time are we at? 42 minutes. Okay. We'll play this games and we'll get out of here.
Hell yeah, we're cruising, baby.
Oh,
That was fucking funny. That was a funny script.
that was great.
Thanks, guys.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I thought you were gonna say that was a funny ad read I just did.
I thought you were gonna say that was funny when Brock Turner got away with raping him. What?
All right,
I'm
cut
sorry.
this
That
part
all
out.
about- how
Cut
weird
that
was that?
I didn't know if
specific
you wanted
clip
to
out.
riff on Brock Turner
How
more.
crazy
The only
is
other
that?
thing I knew was the details
Can I
of
get
the
just
rape.
a
and I'm
clip
like, I
of
don't wanna
Todd
talk
saying
about
it was funny? It was text. All right, we're gonna play a couple games, then we're gonna get out of here. This first game we're gonna play is called Before and Afters. We gotta play the games, otherwise, why did I pay to get the music?
Oh,
made?
you paid
It's
a
the
lot of
best
money
songs
for
I
that.
did.
man.
I
The
haven't
best
made
jingles.
it. You know what
It's-
would help me make the money back for these music is if you would go to ZocDoc.com/neverseen. Before and afters. How this game works is two movies have been smushed together into one. I will read you the smushed together plot. You tell me the smushed together title. So, for instance, what's one? Ocean's 12 Angry Men. That could have been one right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
yeah,
you.
that's great.
12 Angry Men on Fire. That one's not as good.
It works though. I get that.
Um,
Yeah.
All right.
Todd likes
I was
it.
in on that, man. Anytime you get a Tony Scott in here, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
All right, here we go. Number one. Once. Here we go. A man is hypnotized into seeing only women's inner beauty and returns to his hometown to kill teenagers in the fall.
Whoa.
Shallow.
yeah.
Hallows of Harry Potter.
Shallow Halloween.
Oh,
Shallow
yeah,
Halloween.
Shallow
Shallow
Halloween.
Halloween.
Man.
Proud to say I contributed nothing to that.
You said so you knew the
got
plot
it
was
in there,
over. It was
yeah.
time to start submitting. I want to give a shout out to Heath who sent these ones in.
Fuck
Fan of the
yeah.
podcast.
All of
Sent
these?
in.
Thanks, Heath.
Heath sent me like
I
30.
enjoyed that one.
Heath.
Here we go.
That's
Number
dope.
2. Four friends are stalked by a hook-wielding maniac after witnessing a disturbing Scandinavian festival.
I know what you did last summer.
Midsummer. I know what you did last
I know
Midsummer.
you did last Midsummer. Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
going to get there
Hell
without.
yeah.
That was a teamwork one. Yeah.
I would have, but you guys are quicker than me.
All right, here we go. Next
I like
one.
that one too. Me and Heath would get along good, I think.
Heath.
A swimmer who got off from rape has antics with a police dog.
Wait, is this real?
This is real?
We're looking for Brock Turner and Hooch, everybody.
Oh!
We're having a good.
That was quick. Hell yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hell yeah.
All right.
That was good.
If we cut out all the stuff about him earlier, I'm gonna seem like a sociopath.
No, I think it's always a good time to bring up that.
We
bring up
hate
that guy's-
him.
Yeah, that guy fucking sucks.
All right, next one. In the Deep South, a young lawyer takes on a case involving a former assassin who hunted down the team of assassins who betrayed her.
Is that the devil's advocate?
No, it's a Kill Bill thing. It's to kill a Bill Mockingbird.
No.
To Bill a Mockingbird?
That's close. That one's kind of fun, though.
Say the second
A
part
time to kill Bill.
A Time to Kill Bill.
Ah,
I mean, there's so
In the
many
Deep
those
South,
southern.
the young
South.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Sure.
The young lawyer in the Deep South is a lot of movies.
It is.
Because they get to be
Well,
like.
say, that's devil's advocate.
That's
Yeah,
12
it is,
Angry
it
Men.
is,
film.
Yeah, 12 Angry.
There's always like it's courtroom scenes are better in the South because it's so sweaty.
So sweaty.
They're like
Yeah.
wiping
So
the
sweaty.
stuff and their sleeves are rolled up by
Yeah.
the
and they
end
can
all
talk
the time.
slow. They like to talk
Yeah, they do
slow.
I
like
feel like
to talk
Mississippi
slow.
Burning is one of the sweatiest movies I've ever seen. Like that's just like Gene Hackman in that is just like
That's the sweatiest word combination I've ever
Mississippi
heard.
Burning. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mississippi
Yes.
Burning.
Yes. Yes.
Last before and after here.
I think Blue Chips was the sweatiest
Oh,
movie I
I
ever
love
saw.
me some Blue Chips, man. Absolutely. Nick Nolte is sweating and he's not even playing.
I know, he sweats more than Shaq in
He
that movie.
does.
Yeah, his voice sounds sweaty.
God
Yeah.
damn it, Shaq.
It's like two very sweaty voices.
It really
between those
is.
two. The God of Thunder must escape imprisonment and return home to take the place of the lead singer of his favorite rock band. This is a hard one.
Ragnarok.
Of Ages?
Not quite.
Rock Star. It's Rock Star.
Oh,
right?
with Mark Wahlberg, Ragnarok Star.
Ragnarok
Yeah.
Star.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Okay.
Teamwork.
That was
Good
a
job
good
on
one.
that one, yeah.
'Cause I
Well
didn't know the
played,
first one.
boys.
Good.
That was
You never
kinda
seen
like,
Thor?
Never saw. Oh no, I saw Thor. I haven't seen Rock Star.
I've never seen
Yeah.
Thor.
Oh no,
or
I've seen
Rockstar.
Thor.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I've seen Rockstar on VH1. It used to be on VH1 all the time.
Yeah, I've never seen
That's a
it.
good call.
It is so Rockstar. Mark Wahlberg, Jennifer Aniston, I think, is in it as well.
That sounds right.
And he's just a band that is an '80s like Def Leppard type of like band is
That was
playing.
based on Judas Priest or something like that.
Judas
Maybe
Priest,
it's
one
not.
of these
I could be
bands,
wrong.
yeah, because the drummer has two arms, and one of these bands,
Which is cheating, I think, personally.
one of these bands, the singer like quits in the middle or something, and Mark Wahlberg was just good at singing in the front row, and so he joins the band.
Wait,
for the
seriously?
Movie. Yeah,
Well,
Wow.
Mark Wahlberg has a bunch of movies like that.
and he
Yeah.
joins the band, and then they're about to get on this airplane in
I was
2001,
gonna say, if he would
and
have
he
been
says
on that
no.
plane, dude, those terrorists. If he would have been on that
That's
plane,
because that's not the premise of that movie where he gets on the Eagles or whatever. The fuck.
Yes,
yeah,
he's
the
not on the
garbage man
Invincible.
kicker, yeah,
He's not
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Eagles. And then there's the other one where he doesn't stop 9/11, but then
but he said he could
decides
have.
he says
He
he
could have.
could.
He could have.
The
Which also,
Happening.
why didn't you? If you could have, why would you not stop 9/11 if you could? Mark
Woulda,
Wahlberg?
shoulda, coulda.
Yeah,
That's
he's never
because I
addressed
think
that.
between 3:30 and 4 a.m. he's golfing. If you've seen like his weird
Yeah.
itinerary
he
that
has
he
a-
posted,
gets up crazy
his
early.
schedule is
he
nuts.
gets up and golfs for a half hour.
I'm more familiar with his prayer rap ads.
Who golfs for half an hour?
He's really good.
Like,
Like Kim
you shoot
Jong Il.
holes?
Yeah, is that just like you hit the range? You hit
Yeah.
the driving range? Do some putting?
I don't know.
He has a prayer app.
It's like you're all gonna get it on your Instagram now. It's just gonna be nonstop
Oh, 'cause
ads.
we're-
It's him and Brett Favre,
Whoa.
and
Right.
if you
What a
wanna-
combo.
It's called Copper God.
yes, it's like basically just talking about if you want to take prayer seriously, you have to get my prayer app. And like I'm not a religious person, so I don't know how that works, but I feel like isn't prayer like a book? Don't you like you go to church, you do your prayers?
I imagine
How do
it's
you
a
prayer on
daily
an app?
prayer. It's probably a daily
I
prayer.
think prayer
Yeah,
just
it's
costs
like-
you
So
like
you just
$5.
read the prayer app.
Or it's like it's like, oh, if you want to pray for your dad, here are some
Oh
prayers we
yeah,
it's
like
broken into categories.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of unlocking a prayer app with your thumb.
that's pretty fun.
I don't know why that's
That
funny.
is
It's
like an old
come
time-
on,
yeah.
Come on, God. It's like not reading your face because you don't. Well, you wouldn't have a mask on if you have that app, so never mind.
But dude, what about if they combine that with ZocDoc?
Okay,
Get the
I'm
ad
listening.
going. Get
I
the
mean,
ad
the
going.
prayer and the looking for a doctor
Yeah,
definitely go hand in hand.
combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now it's on.
Okay. Okay. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Movie trailer Kyle's dad is describing having only watched
Oh,
the trailer and
love
never
this.
having heard of the movie game.
How this game works is my dad will describe a movie trailer. You have to guess what trailer he's describing. Can be any movie that's ever happened. Here goes movie number 1.
This is exciting.
There's gonna be more than one.
We got 2.
Okay. They're on a date, and he breaks up with her. She's crying. He can't be going with her if he's going to be a senator. She's in a pool. Now she puts on glasses. Those are cool sunglasses. She seems to be standing out. Everyone is talking about their accomplishments.
I think I.
All right, we'll let him read the rest.
She scented her paper. She is now the new representation. This is better than a hot tub after a winter formal. Quick courtroom stuff.
Yeah, I got
I
this.
think I got
All right,
it.
Langston,
It's-
you were the first person to chime in.
Is it Legally Blonde?
Hell yeah.
That's what I thought
Hell
it was.
yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah.
Hell yeah. That shit holds up.
How did we all know that? That actually seemed
Because it's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Great movie.
It's a
great,
good movie.
Great
and
movie.
That means that's a good trailer. It gets across what's
Yeah.
going on.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen it.
You never
Oh,
seen
yeah, it's
Legally
good.
Blonde? It's
Yeah,
great.
No,
It's
I've
great.
I've seen portions. It's one of those where like if you'd asked me had I seen it, I wouldn't necessarily say no because I've seen so many
Sure.
little sections of it.
Yeah.
But no, I've never like sat down and watched all the way through.
That's also fine, but
Yeah.
it's good. All right.
Collectively,
One
they all
more.
add up. It's good.
I got
Kyle
you.
Dad movie.
Okay. So he just asks the girl out at the bank.
I wish you would turn off the TV
Bold
when he.
move.
bold.
So there's a pilot, and he has to go to court. Now he's on the phone with the FBI. Busy guy. He is generally well dressed. He's back on the airplane, spending the most time there.
I think
Oh,
I know
I
it.
think
I
the
think I have
FBI
one, too.
searches for him.
We'll pause this one. What
Is
do you
it-
think it is?
Is it to catch me if you can?
It is Catch Me If You
Wow.
Can.
Yeah, Agent Hanratty.
Good,
Hell yeah.
successful.
be.
Try to do a couple of
Yeah.
court
I haven't seen
law
it.
movies. Also
That's
a good movie.
Yeah, it holds
I've
up.
always
It holds
heard
up
that was
really
a good
well.
movie.
I would say, and we're done, but I would say Catch Me If You Can is up there for the most rewatch value of any like casual. Like it's like you can just watch it.
Yeah, it's,
It's-
good at
it's
Saturday
fun.
afternoon.
It's never super
do your
tense.
laundry.
Yeah.
It's never super upset. It's good.
Yeah.
Good
It's nice.
cast.
I'd argue Dumb and Dumber's up there.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber's perfect.
I love
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
I have. What if I had seen it? This is all shtick. I've seen them all. I've seen every movie. I own Rockstar on the Criterion Collection.
You're in all of them. You're
Well,
an
hey.
extra and everything.
Langston, thanks for being here and never having seen 12
What a
Angry
treat!
Men.
This was lovely. I had a blast.
Adam, thanks for being here.
I love being
and I've
here.
seen it. Todd, thank you for being here.
Hell yeah.
Everyone want to let everyone know where to watch any RZA music videos you've recently.
You're gonna wanna talk to my lawyer about that first.
No, but talk about stuff. Tell people what you got going on.
I have nothing going on. If you have a music video, you can hire me to direct it and not pay me. So it's great.
Great.
Yeah, you can follow me at Langston Kerman, and you can still watch Pause with Sam J, which I head write, and then you can watch Bust Down on Peacock. That's also a thing that's available for viewing and shit.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
I'm going to be touring our whole country this October, November, and I just stuck my whole hour special on my YouTube. So AdamNewmanComedy.com.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you guys very much.
I've never seen it.